It's time for
DodgerHeads.
high fly ball into right field. Dodgers have won it all in 2020. Shohei Ohtani, 50-50 club. Strikes him out. There's a drive. Shohei Ohtani. Freeman hits the ball. She is gone. Birthday party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Welcome. How we doing, everybody? Welcome to DodgerHeads Unplugged with Scotty G. Happy Wednesday. It's great to have you in here. Victory Wednesday. Another good W last night. Stuff we talked about, chat. I'm going to tune my mic here. Hope we're doing well. It's good to see all the tier ones in here early on. Look, hey, we're getting closer to Tommy Edman coming in and saving the franchise here. The hopium is here. I hope everybody understands the magnitude and how good it feels to have a get-right series against a team in a franchise that you're supposed to own, you're supposed to take care of. This is taking care of business. What we saw last night in another Dodgers win is exactly what you need to see against a team. Like I said, you definitely have to go out and beat. You just have to win these games. Dodgers go ahead, take care of business there. 7-2 win. Emmet Sheehan. We're going to get to all those things, but Emmet Sheehan looks electric. We spoke yesterday morning. All you were informed. Everybody tuning in to Unplugged. You all understand and know what Emmet Sheehan has done, what he can do, and got to see last night again against a team that when he's on, he's just going to dominate. He took a perfect game into the sixth. Look, this is exactly what we all knew he was capable of doing. And it just provides the Dodgers with more confidence that they have enough starting pitching options to get the job done. I'm going to put a couple things up here. Everybody, welcome. Do me a favor, housekeeping, get it out of the way. Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, tune us all in. Look, we're here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. I'm here with you. DodgerHeads Unplugged. We've got the boys. Standard schedule throughout the week. Jeff, Anthony, Blake Williams, Matt Moreno, Bruce on Thursdays with Jeff. Look, we've got a terrific cast here at Dodger Blue. We just, the best, most honest, independent Dodgers coverage you're going to get. Nobody comes close. We are locked in. All right. No scandals here. We're absolutely dialed. So we appreciate you all joining us in. I see the regulars. I'm going to put some stuff up here. How we doing, everybody? Yep, you guys are my go-to. James, you're our go-to, man. You've been dialed in. It's good to have you in here. Thank you. Alex says, yeah, I'm starting to feel a lot better about this team. Look, couple get-right games. You see the things regress, come back to the mean. The valleys aren't so low. The guys that are vastly underperforming, you see them have a good game, and it's like, look, you can appreciate this, all of you. When you see a player that is supposed to perform at a baseline level and they're not doing the things that when they were at their best, you're like, where the hell is that at? Where is that moment? Where is that take on a slider down and away? Shout out to you, Teoscar. He had a few of those last night that when you see it, you think back to 2024. You think that when players are playing at their absolute optimal level, you see those takes, you see those swings, you see those long counts, and you see them coming up in those big spots. And that's what we got. So that definitely instills a lot of confidence there. Look, yeah, I'm juiced, as you can tell. This is good morning. Foxy, good morning, chat. Hello. James, let's hump day of the Rockies. Yeah. Happy Wednesday, man. Top of the morning, Manny. Roy, salute you, buddy. Yeah, good to see you all in here. JY, Laura. And all the new people coming in here. Tier 1s, Tier 2s. You're all joining in. Eden, what's up? William? Yep, and Timmy. Spitting the absolute most facts. I cannot wait for Tommy Edman to come back. Saving the franchise, carrying us to the promised land. He just can insert himself right in there. One day closer. We are one day closer. Ernie, big fan of the channel. Big fan of you. So we're going to let everybody roll in here. Happy Victory Wednesday, Don Kim, Mornings with Scotty G. Good to have you in, man. Look, look, I was watching last night, and from what Emmet Sheehan was providing the Dodgers was just absolute dominance. We spoke yesterday morning about how he was getting his chase rates were high. His last 300 pitches, his last several outings here, whiff rates were high, top of the leaderboards across Major League Baseball, and that's stuff that when you look at it, you know what level he's performing at. I understand that he's had some home run problems. That's fine, because when you aim small, misses are going to get, blasted. And that's just how it goes. But Emmet Sheehan's stuff has been so good that he's just got to let it eat. You're getting chases at that level. You just have to go out there and show out. All right. It doesn't matter. But now it puts himself into the conversation with just another stellar outing here. And former Dodger. Yeah. What's his name? Eric Karros' son broke up the no-hitter there. Is it Kyle? Kyle Karros? Heartbreaking again. So Dodgers just continue to roll. Emmet Sheehan goes out here. Final line for Emmet Sheehan. He goes 7, I think. Yeah, 7, allows 3 hits, 1 earned, 9 punch. Across Major League Baseball, I think he was second in whiff rate. I had this pulled up here. Yes. Second in whiffs, 18. Highest yesterday was Connerly Early from the Boston Red Sox. So Emmet Sheehan's second with 18 whiffs. 93 pitches, just an amazing outing for him, right? 32.3% chase whiff rate. Look, enough can't be said about who they have in this right-hander. And Emmet has put himself in the conversation. Yeah. And Craig, I'm glad you put this up here. He's got the rising fastball. So I love that because this is the Dodgers MO. They like this for their starters. They like this for their pitchers here. It just creates a lot of separation, creates a lot of bad swings at the plate. It's tough to time up. Let me check. Let me check here for my Wi-Fi. It's saying something's going on. I think I'm okay. If I'm okay, I'm okay. All right. But with Emmet Sheehan, I think that even with what the Dodgers are doing, they have to find a way to keep him on the big league roster. Going into the postseason, you have to find a way to make him an asset. He has to be a part of what they're doing long term, this season. Going towards the postseason there, he has to be in the picture. I don't care what they have to do. He needs to be in the bullpen if they don't have a spot for him in the starting rotation there. I know in a short set, it's not going to happen. 5-game, possibly. 7-game for sure. Got to get that far. But when it comes to the bullpen, I look around the bullpen, chat, you look around the bullpen, you definitely need some arms. You definitely need some arms there. So Emmet Sheehan continues to roll and keeps himself right at the conversation where it's not a matter of, if he has an opportunity to start, he's going to be in there. It's that he's an asset, whether it's in the starting rotation or in the bullpen. You get enough chase, you get enough whiff. That's a combination that in postseason baseball, that's an absolute key thing. So just great to see from Emmet. He's stellar. He's stellar. So the Dodgers right now, the Cincinnati Reds. See how Foxy puts this up here. Props the Reds over San Diego. Nice. Yes. As of right now, the Dodgers, I think it's 2 games. They increased that to 2 games over the Padres in the National League West. Chance tonight again. You can increase that lead here. So 81-64 for the Dodgers. It's just good times. It's a happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Chad, if you have any big thoughts about Emmet Sheehan, please let me know in the comment section there. If you're listening after the fact on Apple Music, Spotify, podcast version, let me know what you thought of Emmet Sheehan and what you think and how the Dodgers can deploy him. Because as of right now, I will say that Emmet Sheehan is definitely in consideration because, and I know, Beaches says Sheehan looks like our next ace. Dodgers got a lot of arms like that. It's a good place to be. It's a good place to be. This is when the Dodgers are at their best. We've known for years, like prior to, I would say 2023, it was just model of consistency with the starting rotation. You'd have a 1 and a 2, and then you'd be like, those 2 games, those are lockdown stuff. So now you're getting to the point where every single night you feel pretty comfortable that you're starting pitching, on paper is going to go out and it's going to do the thing. So I was mapping out the bullpen with Blake Williams yesterday, so I want to give him credit here. He's the funniest dude in the world. When we put him up to a task on like bullpen stuff, he's got it locked in. So we'll get to like bullpen, like mapping that out, and I'm gonna put, Brennan, what's up, man? It says Dreyer, Jack Dreyer, Emmet Sheehan, Clayton Kershaw, Blake Tron, and Alex Vesia, Michael Kopech, Sasaki, Scott, Robo, Anthony Bonda. That's the October pen. Look, couple names there up for debate. Sasaki, how much whiff's he going to get? I know his fastball is looking great, added velocity there, so that's good to see. Kershaw, my only concern with like Clayton Kershaw out of the bullpen is just I know he's getting good results here. I'd like to see how that plays in the short stuff. I don't know. I haven't seen him do too much out of the bullpen. We all haven't either. So yeah, I mean, look, a lot of those names I like. My only, I think they would leave. I think they would leave Anthony Bond off before they do other stuff. And I'm just gonna say that. I really do. I really do. I think they might leave Anthony Bond off the postseason bullpen. But Emmet Sheehan's in consideration to pitch anywhere, absolutely anywhere. All right. Again, guys, super chats here. If you have anything pressing, toss that up there. I'll divert everything right to it. I appreciate you all tuning in here. Yeah, BC, get soon, man. Let's see. Yeah, Dusty says, real quick, does Kirsch deserves to have a start in the postseason, maybe with someone there to have his back if needed? Yeah, I get it. But I don't think there's, in a 3-game set, it's not going to happen. 5-game set, I'd be not hard pressed, but 5-game set, I think he's there. 5-game set. I know that you don't always have to carry that much, but 4 guys, yeah, I mean, you can have a conversation because then it's like Yamamoto, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Ohtani, and then you get into Kershaw, Sheehan stuff. Then we talk, right? That's when we have to have the conversation. But I'm feeling pretty good either way. This is a good place to be, Amanda. Great to have you in. Yeah, Dusty says I could see Clayton Kershaw being at the 4. It's just going to be how they use Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani's looking electric. He's looking angry. He pitches angry. He wants to perform. So I think that, the Dodgers aren't going to fiddle with him any bit. Yeah. Yeah. All right. And one topic that I've been kind of shuffling around for a bit. If you've been following on Twitter, you know exactly where I'm going to go with this one. Could Kyle Hurt? If you haven't heard his name in a long time, that's okay. He's coming back from Tommy John. He's working his way back. He's currently on a rehab assignment in AAA. And I really, Brendan, I'm gonna pin that. I'll put this up here, bro. If you haven't kept an eye on Kyle Hurt, you know that in AAA he's been making a few rehab starts, rehab assignment outings, and thus far he's been amazing. Fastball looks good, upper 90s. We're talking 9. I think he went 98.5 yesterday, so he's pumping. Change looks good. Kyle Hurt throws a bowling ball fastball. And if you know, the Dodgers have a few guys like that, Edgardo Enriquez, Brusdar Graterol, big fan of guys with, hard fastballs. It's a different meaning. It's not just because the velocity's there. It's because it's like hits your bat and it just does nothing. And Kyle Hurt, 27 years old, big body, big frame, good kid from the area, coming out of USC here. And I think that with what Kyle Hurt has done, he's getting the whiff that I want. And I'm just going to go through his outings here. We're talking rehab stuff. We're talking you go out there and just process-oriented outings. And Kyle Hurt is someone that I put out a thing last night that Kyle Hurt, I think, could easily take Kirby Yates' spot in the bullpen once they clear Kyle Hurt off his rehab assignments, once they feel he's ready. We've got a story up on Dodger Blue 1958, just briefly talking about Dave Roberts commenting on what Kyle Hurt has done and if he's an option. And I know Dave Roberts left the door open for it. He said, quote, well, I mean, if he continues to trend, you never know how things are going to play out. And then he says, but to keep that option open and alive is certainly the plan. Yes. So I see a lot of people in chat here talking about this. Unfortunately, yeah, Kirby Yates is done. Yeah, I've seen that a lot. And Kirby Yates is an older arm. It was definitely a contract based on, hoping that he still has it, hoping the deception and the tunneling with his four seam and his split we're going to work out. But as you saw last night, he can get you 1 out, 2 outs, and then if that split hangs, it's center cut. He's not missing, good misses. It's bad misses. So that's something that's just it feels like man, who was it last year? I'm blanking on the name. Daniel Hudson. Yeah. It's feeling like Daniel Hudson-esque. That's what it feels like. Yeah. When it's just bad misses, it's bad misses. So that's how I feel it is. Kirby Yates is washed, I fear. Says feels like, yeah, 2023 Kimbrel. Yeah, I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I think that Kyle Hurt is certainly an option, and he should be. He has performed. He has performed, so far. Very small sample with Kyle Hurt. The last time we saw Kyle Hurt in a big league ball game was April 16th, 2024. And we're in the Big 2-5 now. It's September 10th. And Kyle Hurt has been chomping at the bit to get back to the big league roster. And so far in AAA, 4 2/3, 7 punch, just 3 walks. 4 hits, only 1 earned, 1.93 ERA. Process looks good. Last night, strike the ball wasn't too great, but he got it done. Came away unscathed, just 1 hit last night. So we're talking he's going 1 inning in his first one, 2 in his middle, and inning and 2/3 last night. Definitely have him on a pitch count. So I think that Kyle Hurt, give him 2 more outings, maybe 3 in AAA, and the Dodgers need to bring him up. Dodgers need to bring him up. Reliever, pumping in the high 90s, arm side run. He's good stuff. So Kyle Hurt, I think, is going to be a steady option for him. I think that slides right in. I spoke the other day about how, they need a right-handed arm. Option Ben Kasparius, too much up and down with him. The process has been bad. Reliever, starter, reliever, too much there with him. And I think Kyle Hurt can slot right in, and take care of business for the Dodgers. I love what Kyle Hurt's had. And then, yeah, Amanda, maybe he's a secret weapon. So you tier ones, you're going to know who Kyle Hurt is. You're going to be well informed about what he can do. So I believe that's a great option here, and it's going to be a stable option for the bullpen from the right-hand side. So big fastball, big change. I like it a ton. That's exactly where I think the team's going to go, and you don't have to worry about one less name you have to worry about getting right and having that big league experience and coming up there, and who can handle that. Because as of right now, Kopech still has to figure it out. Tanner Scott's on an island out there. He still think baseball hates him. Yeah. Johnny says, is Dave Roberts going to keep running Tanner Scott out there? Why is Dave so stubborn? It's just, you have to be a little stubborn. As a big leaguer, you have to be stubborn as a manager, because Johnny, yesterday we talked about it, that Tanner Scott is going to continue to get opportunities. He's paid like a big league closer. He's paid like an arm that's going to pitch leverage innings. It's too early in the year still to just give up on him and just say, we're going to relegate you to, a middle relief spot. Because Johnny, if he can't pitch at the back end of games, I'll be honest, I'll keep it a buck. I don't know where you put him. You have to keep battle testing him until you have to make that decision, because I think he can pitch in the middle of a blowout game. I think he can do that. No problem. All right. But you have to find out if he can still pitch at the back end of a game in the postseason, in leverage spots, because then if not, when that's all hope is lost, when it's just like, all right, he can give us something. He might give up 1, but he's not going to be a guy at the back end. We can deal with that later. The front office and Dave, they can figure that out later. But as of right now, the team's playing at a level where you can keep putting him in the ninth inning. You can keep putting him in these spots. So process. You just have to follow that thing. So I understand the frustration with where he's at. Yeah. Yoshi said we're tier ones. Yeah, damn right. You guys are tier ones. You've been here for a few weeks now tuning in. All you are tier ones. If you're not subbed, you're not. And I know who you are. I see the data. I know exactly who you are. Yeah. Brandon, he says, and Edgardo Enriquez or Yates over Bonnet could make sense, but Yates just has nothing right now. That's why I think that it's going to be Kyle Hurt. I think it's going to be Kyle Hurt. Leave Kirby Yates out of the equation here. And I hope Robleski's in there too, buddy. I think that Justin Robleski's got potential for high octane 1 to 2 inning stuff. As long as you pick a good spot for him in the order, fastball plays up big time. He's made a resurgence here, and I'm hyper impressed with just what Justin Robleski's had. I'm a big fan of what he's got. Big fan. So that's where people are going to text me about Clayton Kershaw. I want him starting. I really don't want him out of the bullpen. I just don't think that's I don't think that's a necessary thing this year. Somebody asked me about Brown Honeywell. Like, they don't need that role. They don't have that role. Like, Clayton Kershaw is not a mop-up guy. He's a starter. Like, you're not putting Clayton Kershaw in to just mop up, a blowout. Like, if they decide to burn him in that spot, then that's a waste. You start him. Like, you put him out there from the first inning, toe the rubber, and then let it rip. I don't want him going in and just mop up a game. That just sounds like a big waste for what Clayton Kershaw is doing. It just sounds like a waste. You know what I mean? And that's being super fair to Kershaw for what he's done this season. So I don't want him just mopping up a game. You don't need it. Exactly. Yeah. Ian says it'd be disrespectful. It's on top of that. They just don't need it. They just flat out don't need that. You've got enough arms. And when you get to a 5-gamer and you want to put him out there and say you want to reset, say you're up and you're like, all right, Kersh, give us that clincher, like you're up, and just sweep it out. However you want to do it. 7-game, whatever. They're in a spot where you can deploy him how you want and how he should be, which is starting the game, going from there. I don't want to burn him, in a mop-up game where they're just praying and holding on. I want to give that to somebody who they can just, stretch out. Somebody has an injury. If Robleski wants to go out there and just tow it for a bit, sure. Robleski's not their leverage lefty, so he can go give him multiple stuff. Yeah. Kersh doesn't want that. Nobody does. I think a lot of people have said that. They want Kershaw out of the bullpen. Like, I understand you want to squeeze him on there, but like, think about what he's done this year and think about how you can maximize him. And it's definitely not in 2 innings. It's definitely not like a 2-inning stint, burn a game out, 4 innings, just, go out there and just get us through it. It just sounds like a waste, right? Like, for how good he's been. If you want to use him and that's the way you want to get him into a bullpen, like a postseason rotation or rotation as far as like your pitching staff, then sure. But it just sounds like a waste. Just sounds like a waste. Let's see. There you go. This is it. Screenshot it up, everybody. You don't need to punt when there's a variety of elite stuff. You don't need to punt. No need to focus on mop-up duty guys when there's no need to punt games. Super chat here from JY. I appreciate you, man. You're always tuning in, supporting the channel. Best way to get a hold of me is that. And every super chat, I feel like you guys dig deep into the noggin with the best conversation. Sorry, second pumpkin spice of the day. If you're not, then you're just behind the times. JY says it's easier for Sheehan to be in a bullpen role in the past season or in the postseason, given that this is the first year back from surgery, less strain for him. I mean, I wouldn't say it's easier. Like, he's pitching in bulk right now, buddy. Like, it'd be, they're not going to tell him to just air it out. They're not going to do that. But I'm purely speaking to like the stuff, like Emmet Sheehan's pitched like lengthy outings. Like, we're going into the 7th. Like, the reins are off. Like, he's looking good. But I'm saying, like, it's easier for him to have success and to stick there because his stuff is so good. He's executing. He is executing all the time. Your stuff can be great, but if you're not executing, it does not matter at all. Couldn't care less what you're doing. I don't care what your RPMs are. I don't care what your spin rate is. I don't care what anything. If you have bad misses, if your stuff is uncompetitive, then it doesn't matter. But right now, Emmet Sheehan is doing the damn thing. His stuff starting in the zone, ending out of the zone. When it's in the zone, they're not hitting it. So JY, like, um, it'll be easier because he's absolutely shoving is the best thing that I can say. The best way I can tell you, because his stuff looks good. He's playing well anywhere inside the zone. He's getting chases outside the zone. That's why he'll be successful, I think, in any role completely. If he keeps his process the same, the preparation for starting and working out of the bullpen is different, and that doesn't always work for other guys. That's why it was weird for Ben Kasparius. Stuff was great out of the pen. When it went to the starting rotation, it was till it wasn't. And then, that's where that up and down happened. But I think with Emmet Sheehan, we're at a point where, his process has stayed the same for so long. He won't have that transition period where he'll have a hiccup and then it won't work out because he's having to do so much, roller coaster stuff. I think Emmet Sheehan will be in a good spot however they deploy him. You know what I mean? As long as he keeps his process the same. And I think he'll be fine. I definitely think he'll be fine. All right. Yeah. Cooking with Cobb says this. Everybody, listen up. Listen up. Listen up. Just throw no hitters, and we don't need mop up guys. That's it. That's it. Ball game. Start them on. Get a run. That's it. That's it. Don't need anything else than that. Yeah, JY. Got it. Thank you. You're a dog. No pun intended with that pick. Jeffrey says this. I need Kershaw to record the last out in the playoff series. He needs that moment before he rides off into the sunset. I know what you meant there. Yeah. Look, I don't think anybody would want something other than 22 having a moment where just, final ball, hands in the sky. That's it. Whatever it is. They got to get there. Keep pushing it. Get there. Hopefully in a spot where it's at that. And to what Cooking with Cobb says, it's going to be on, just throw a no-hitter every time, and none of it matters. None of it matters. BC says Kershaw's playing until he's 40. I think he's riding off. For sure. Let's see here. All right. Let's go questions. I'm gonna go questions time. I'm gonna put my little thing at the bottom here. Tonight we've got Kyle Freeland, Blake Snell, battle of the lefties. In a battle of the lefties, and I need Blake Snell to, shake that bad start against the Pirates away. That was gross. Uncharacteristic for him. A bunch of weird stuff went on there in Pittsburgh. Don't want to talk about it. Get swept out. It never happened. You know what? Let's just forget that happened. Okay. ERA is still sub 3. That thing never happened. Okay. When it comes to Kyle Freeland, I need the Dodgers to, we say this all the time, take care of business. Last time the Dodgers saw him was August 18th in Colorado. Freeland went 4, allowed 2 earned, 6 hits, 5 punch, way too much. With how Teoscar Hernández, admin, look away. This isn't on the docket. Chat, listen up. This is on the docket. Teoscar Hernández looks good. All right. And we believed in him in those big moments because we've seen him do it before. We've seen him do this before. He took sliders away last night where it was Herman Marquez was desperately trying to get him to go out and reach, extended at bats, goes out there, 2 pumps, gets himself feeling good. 23 on the year. He looks really good. Oh, is that it? How many? Did he have 23 on the year? Somebody correct me there. Let me pull it up. Yeah, 23 home runs on the year. Look great. Good smile. Mookie Betts. What else you guys want me to talk about? 50. Mookie Betts has continued to make everybody weep. First ballot Hall of Famer is going to do first ballot Hall of Famer things. All right. That's just how it goes. You don't doubt first ballot Hall of Famers. I can't believe it. I was flabbergasted when people did. Reckless behavior. All right, admin, you can listen back in. And Freddie Freeman, Ohtani, big three are up. You guys knew yesterday. You guys saw the vision. All of you did. All right. Yeah. Manny says got progressing to do for sure. Yeah. We're just victory lapping this morning. That's why we get this. That's why we get this morning slot before some people I know peel their eyelids open. Yeah. I'm not putting that one up. What? No. Manny, chill. He says, why does Boston Blake hate to see Mookie do good? Well, I'll put this up and then I'll pull it down real fast. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Blake is a ball knower now because he appreciates what Mookie's done. I'll give him that. Blake Williams has, just like a lot of people, they have seen him flip his game. He has started pulling the ball in the air. He is not going for so much, loft. And then the power is going to come when he does. Pull side, looks great. He's getting everything on those swings, more line drive oriented. The chase and the whiff were never there. So he was chasing at a very low rate, and he was whiffing at a very low rate. That's how it goes. All right. So now that's what we see. Let's see. Matt Peralta says, "Are we going back to back or what, Scott? Big fan of Dodger Blue, best Dodgers podcast all around." Look, Matt, we're on track. We're on track over here at Dodger Blue. We're doing our thing. Yeah, we, at Dodger Blue, we are just absolutely dialed. Nobody else does it better. Couldn't care less. All right, nobody does it better. A lot of competitors out there, and nobody's doing it better. But got to wait and see on what we're doing with the doing it the back to back. They're getting. Hopefully, they got hot at the right time. All right, let me go to a couple questions here. Eden says Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Smith, Muncy, Teo, Edman, Pajes, Kike in the postseason. I mean, that looks great to me, buddy. That looks beautiful to me. That's picturesque. Looks like last season. Looks like when they understood the assignment, and looks like how they all look comfortable together. That's how it looks. Geshmeg, no ceiling fan today, buddy. It's good to have you in. Thanks for tuning in at the back end. Rewind this sucker and then watch it all the way through. All right. Let's see. Matthew says, also, can Lakers Nation borrow Shohei for June? Please and thanks. Yeah. Yes. 100%. Just tell him to be back. Tell him he's got to toe the rubber at 7:09 Pacific. Bat leadoff. He's going to hit 2 pumps. He's going to strike out 9 over 5 2/3, just maxing it out, turn it over to the bullpen, see you after the W. All right, that's what's going to happen. He's throwing fuzz this year, ladies and gentlemen. Ohtani's pissed. Yoshi says, Conforto make the lineup today? Negative. Lefty on the mound. Do not see it. Will not see it. All right. Take a couple more here. I'm going to get out of here and let you guys enjoy your midweek, enjoy your Wednesday. Make sure you rally towards the back end, and then you get to enjoy the rest of your week here. Let's see. What else we got? A couple more questions. Somebody give me something good. Let's see. And I know I see a lot of love for the Heen Dog here. Heen Dog loons in the shadows. He's back. You say he's got 5 punch, 2 innings right now. Brendan, I think that's what you saw. Laura says, you're the best, Laura. You're always in here, dialed. Appreciate it. Interesting question here. Would you prefer Roydvet over Rushing as the backup catcher for the time being, rest of season? I mean, I want Rushing to feel right. They don't have, when you're looking ahead towards the postseason, you've got Dalton Rushing and Michael Conforto as your guys off the bench. As lefties, your lefties off the bench. So I want Rushing to be 100%, like that, nasty off the shin. So I want him to make sure he's good. You can't push that. Just it'll linger. But as of right now, I mean, look, Roydvet has handled the staff. Wouldn't that be something? That would be something. If Roydvet's able to hold a spot, I don't see it, but I'm just purely yapping about it. It says something about the catcher when he comes in and has an impact like that. I know, Yoshi calling his own pitches doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You look at who's behind the plate defensively. Yeah, Yoshi says this right here. He's better defensively. He's confident back there. He's done it for a few years now. A couple organizations like Dodgers pitching staff has already spoken to Rortved's preparation, and he's been there, done that already. He's been with a few teams. He understands his role, and I think that's important. Dave Roberts called him a servant of the pitching staff, and we've seen that. Austin Barnes was like that. The pitching staff loved pitching to him. It doesn't matter what he does offensively. When you have a pitcher who loves throwing to a particular catcher, and they provide them with some comfort back there. You have to take note of that. You have to take note of it and overlook their offensive inefficiencies here. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes, man. I'd hate to tell you. A lot of people solely look at offensive numbers because catchers and having really good receivers of the baseball is a forgotten thing. And I don't like that because it's such a key piece to the ball game. Teaching the kiddos that right now. Let's see. Patmy says Mookie hitting 180-pound bombs or Mookie hitting 160-pound homers. Oh, man. Good question. Yes. All of it. All of it. He's a dog. All right. Let's see. You guys are all good. All right. Chat, look, I appreciate all of you. I need you to enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Dodgers have a good matchup tonight against Kyle Freeland because Kyle Freeland's had some issues lately with some other teams. And I need the Dodgers to go out there and provide their own issue for Kyle Freeland and the Colorado Rockies. Continue to get right. Continue to create separation between yourself and the San Diego Padres there. Hopefully other teams go out there and take care of business. If the Mets want to decide to fight against the Philadelphia Phillies, cool. If not, no sweat. Just have to go out and, take care of your own. But third game of the series tonight against the Dodgers, Colorado Rockies here. Let's see if Blake Snell can go out, turn the page off his last one here. Pat Mead says, appreciate you, Scott. Appreciate you. Last few things here. Everybody, yeah, you're the best. Tier ones, thanks for tuning in. Everybody for the first time, subscribe, notification bell. We'll be here Monday through Friday. DodgerHeads Unplugged, 10 a.m. Everybody at Dodger Blue does fantastic work. We're here doing post games, emergency pods, and absolutely everything we can do to bring you as much narrative talk, information stuff, breaking news, post-game stuff. We've got it all here. Don't forget to go to DodgerBlue.com. Terrific writers over there. Provide everything up there. We're going to have Matt or Blake at the stadium tonight. Matt Moreno, just a stellar individual. Absolute first-class gentleman. Blake Williams as well. Man, you guys always do this with the super chats at the end. I love it. Jonathan. Teo 2 home runs, and I'm all the way back in. World Series incoming. Look, he was waiting on Teoscar. I'm waiting on Tommy Edman's arc to unify the ball club, the franchise, the galaxy, and then we'll see you there, Jonathan. He's a sicko. He knows. He knew this was coming up. He interrupted my outro. Yeah, Gene, good info, brother. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, man. Facebook, we've got everybody tuning in everywhere. We'll be here as much as possible. Laid back, tune in. Tier ones, if you're not yet, keep tuning in and I'll recognize you and you'll make that cut. So you're the best, everybody. And please enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I'll be back here tomorrow. We'll be breaking down the game from tonight. Hopefully Blake Snell gives us some good stuff to talk about. Bullpen continues to do their thing. And then we'll see you tomorrow, guys. But as always, my name is Scott Geirman, Dodger Blue. Thanks for tuning in to DodgerHeads Unplugged. And as always, go Dodgers.